Previously on Preps. Cal Kleckner's basketball season comes to a shocking end. Downers Grove North is upset early in the playoffs.
We didn't play so good. I don't know, I just feel really bad right now.
Cal's played his final high school basketball game, and reality sets in.
We always grew up playing basketball. It's like our first sport that really brought us together, and now that's over. It's kind of sad, but gotta move on.
It's really confusing. We have nothing to do now.
I'm the king of the black top, hooping half-court shots. I come correct, your stats are whack compared to points that I drop. I play to win, and I'm playing for keeps. I'm keeping my game tight and fulfilling my hoop dreams.
Real kids.
I'm Eddie Curry, senior, Thornwood High.
Real dreams.
I'm Kyle Kleckner, senior, Downers Grove North High School.
Real life.
I'm Sean Dockery, junior, Julian High.
These are the real stories of Preps, Chicago hoops. Last time we checked in on Cal Kleckner in Downers Grove North, they had just had their hearts broke by Neuqua Valley, falling a mere 2 games short of making it downstate to the Illinois Elite Eight.
With all the seniors, if you look at us, I don't think any of us will ever play for another team, a school team ever again, besides other sports. We always grew up playing basketball. It's like our first sport that really brought us together, and now that's over. It's kind of sad.
For Eric Allen, there are no tomorrows. His high school sports career is done. But for Tim, Siggy, and Cal, if they can get over the pain, there's one last glimmer of hope. Springtime. And with the change of seasons comes another chance for Cal, Tim, and Siggy to get downstate. The 2001 baseball season has begun.
The thing I like the most about baseball is it's such a long season and so many things can happen. And it's such a game that just comes down to 2 things, which is pitching and defense. And I mean, it just gives you an opportunity to go out there and have a good time.
Cal may be playing baseball for fun, but this team is for real. Ranked top 20 in the state.
Our baseball team's pretty solid. I mean, we don't score too many runs, but I definitely say our strength is our pitching.
Well, our 3 starting pitchers are probably key. Tim Simonza, Tommy Lyons, and Andy Sigerich. And Kyle Kleckner, of course, you know, the big man in center field.
Cal is the leadoff man for this talented crew. A solid all-around player who brings a lot of intangibles to the team.
Everybody looks to Kyle for leadership. Kyle usually has a clean head on his shoulders. Like when in the heat of battle, he's got a clear head.
Last year, Kyle played left field for us. This year, he's going to be moved into center field. One of his biggest assets is his overall speed and aggressiveness to go out and get the baseball in center field. And on the base pass, he makes good contact at the plate, and he's someone who starts things off for us.
In addition to all these contributions, Cal has a serious chance to break a school record this year.
Well, last year I had 26 stolen bases, and I'm not really sure how many I have this year. I want to say maybe about 13 or 14 in like 18 games. I'd hope to get it up around 30, but I'm not sure.
He's a little punk in practice when he steals off you, too.
No, I'm good at it.
Stole a base off me. That was stupid. I had you picked off.
Yeah, right.
I stole a base. And you dance around like a little fairy.
Coach Isaacson is only in his 2nd year, but he's already earned a ton of respect.
Our head coach is Chad Isaacson. I think he's one of the best coaches for baseball I've had. He knows a ton about baseball, and I just really like the way he coaches, and he's always serious, except every once in a while. You'll see a smile. You'll see a smile from his face.
Coach Isaacson, he actually played for Downers Grove North, and then he went to Southern on a baseball scholarship. And then he came back, and he was an assistant at North for a couple years, and then last year was his first year being the head coach, and he'd kill me if I said this, but he was awarded the Coach of the Year, which
West Suburban Coach of the Year.
Yeah, and like the area Coach of the Year, which was pretty neat, I thought, for him being a rookie coach. And he gets a lot out of us as players.
Get it done for us so we can perform and execute out here. Okay. I want step.
Coach Isaacson loves what Cal brings to the team, but he'd be the first to admit that having a three-sport athlete can be a mixed blessing.
Coming from football to basketball, there's a lot of competition. It's constantly moving. He brings that from those two sports into us. It's something that he raises a lot of the other people's play and practice. Then looking at it from another way, Kyle can be overmatched every once in a while. If you get a good pitcher, he works at it. I've seen that. If he doesn't do it, if he's doing something wrong, he'll try, and he'll try again. I mean, just as something as simple as bunting for a base hit in practice, he'll ask a coach to take him for about 15 extra minutes just on his own so he can try to get it better and better and better. His work ethic, to me, is very solid during these practices. He wants to get better.
These guys are ready to go. There's only one problem. When you're playing baseball in Illinois, there's usually a lot of dirty work that comes first.
All right, infielders grab rakes right now. You guys back over the field, drag it across this way. Drag them, get it to drag the other way.
Chain this back up, are we?
Got it. Got it. Johnny.
At least that snake ball infield.
Hey, wait till we get this back. Don't send them in there yet.
Okay. He'll be all right.
Later. This is what you get when you play baseball not in hot weather. Baseball in Chicago is so weird because, I mean, you play your first few games of the year and it can be 40 degrees and it can be snowing on you. Yes, that is goose poo, your second.
At the beginning of the season, there's just a lot of stuff to do, like picking up rocks and rolling the field, like to make sure all the bumps are out. And like when you're doing that and not really practicing, you can kind of joke around and coach doesn't get too mad about it. Like guys will take off their shirts and stuff to try to work on their white bodies.
Snake, I nominated you as my predecessor to roll the infield this year. What? It's like,
You got it?
tradition.
We just basically get the job done, except for Kyle, who just stands around and talks the whole time.
No, that's because I'm jack of all trades. My job is to, jack of all trades.
Yell, you're like, what? And he's yelling at you, and you just stood there talking.
No, I do the jobs. If someone's not there, I take care of their job. AKA jack of all trades.
Yeah, so usually everyone's there, so he doesn't do anything.
Finally, now can we get some action? Oh well, I guess when it comes to baseball, there just ain't much action to be had. Coming up, Downers Grove takes on Hinsdale South. Then later, Cal takes a break from baseball to practice for the Wendy's All-Star Shootout.
Sammy.
Downers Grove North versus Hinsdale South. The Trojans have only 2 losses so far this season and are riding a 9-game winning streak. But for Cal and Tim, the transition to baseball has taken longer than they had hoped.
Coming from basketball into baseball, it's hard for like the first 5 games. I struggle a little bit.
It takes a while to get back into baseball groove, being that it's like a completely different game than basketball. I feel like I'm just starting to get back into it, but not completely in it yet.
To make matters worse, getting back into the flow of things ain't the only thing Cal's having to deal with.
You should have seen today. There were a couple freshman girls at our game sitting out in right field, and I was watching them the whole game. I don't really care. I was watching the whole game because I don't know what he's talking about. I only play when I pitch. So I'm out there, and they're way out in right field, and like their heads, the home plate's over here. This is their heads the whole game, staring straight out at Kyle. And like I'm watching for like 10 minutes straight, and not once did they ever look to see what was going on at home plate.
No, I think they're talking
every once in a while I look at Kyle, Kyle's looking. Here's home plate straight ahead. Here's Kyle's head every once in a while.
Shut
looking
up.
over there.
I was communicating with the right fielder, telling him how many outs there were. I don't know what he's talking about. And they're talking to the right fielder, too.
Back to Hinsdale South. It's a tight game. Siggy dominates on the mound. And by the final inning, Downers has a 2-run lead.
Come on, 2-0 right here.
Then poor defense gets the Trojans in a bit of a jam, and the whole team pays.
Our game against Hinsdale South was kind of bogus because we had the lead the whole game, and then they got a runner on second with 2 outs, and this guy hit a little liner out in the left, and then we had a couple errors on the plate. And the next thing I know, we're losing 3-2. So I don't know. That's frustrating. That just shows you how weird the game of baseball is. Because I mean, all of a sudden you're up and you're about ready to finish the game off, and the next thing you know, you're down a couple runs with only 2 at-bats left. So I don't know. I kind of think it refocused us because we had a 9-game winning streak going on at the time, and I don't know. It's disappointing to lose, but then again, at the same time, it's I don't know. It's kind of get your heads level checked and get back and get refocused about winning games.
For tonight, though, focus will have to wait. Cal's got his first practice for the Wendy's All-Star Shootout, an all-star game that pits the best of Chicago against the best of New York.
I don't know. I'm just looking forward to playing with these guys. All these guys going to big places and stuff. I think it should be cool. A lot of good players, and coming out here have a good time with them. So it should be fun. I want to see some dunks.
I think it's a great opportunity for him. I know it's a lot of guys that he's looked up to throughout the state as some of the top players definitely in our state, and some of these guys are the best, some of the best players in the country. These guys are going on to play basketball, a lot of the major universities throughout the country, and Kyle going to play football, it's a little bit different story. So we've been razzing him a little bit like, hey, where are you going to play basketball? And we tease, hey, he's just going down to the YMCA, but he's really looking forward to meeting these guys and get on the floor with them and, kind of see where he stacks up against them a little bit.
Cal comes out hustling.
Good rebound, Cal.
And hits a few shots.
Good job, Cal.
But in a free-for-all scrimmage like this, with some of the nation's best players, sometimes hustle ain't enough. This game is all about ups. As in major in-your-face Roger Powell type ups. As in a serious dunk the ball anytime you want Kelly Whitney and Joshua Williams ups. As in I can't believe this. Oh my God. Luther Head gets higher than MJ in his prime ups.
I'm definitely glad I'm playing football in college. I just think it's fun to come out here, play with these guys, hang out a little bit, see what they got. Freaking if Luther Head threw one more dunk down, I was about ready to puke. He broke out every move I ever needed to see.
Practice is over. Cal takes this time to get to know some of the other players.
What do you feel about your trek to Marquette next year? You ready to take on that competition or what?
Oh yeah, what I really hope is that.
Come on, let me see. Let's get this man in here.
Is that we can get this guy team on the schedule.
Word on the street in Milwaukee, and you live, Marquette's in the city. Word on the street is they're afraid to play UWM because they don't want to lose the recruiting to UWM.
What does he say? What's the name of the school?
How do you feel by your new team that you're joining next year might probably going to the Final Four? How you feel?
No comment.
No comment.
No comment. This man just wants to throw every kind of dunk down you could ever possibly think of. Oh, let's ask this guy. Hey, does Michigan know what the NCAA tournament is? Come on. They've been in there before. Come on. This is what the tournament is.
I don't think this UWM, they don't know.
That was a good one. I like that. Do you know what a dunk is? Ooh, that hurts. No matter, Cal. Baseball's the only sport you should be worrying about now.
Occasionally, if I need some really good luck.
Coming up, Cal and Tim let us in on some of their baseball superstitions. Then later, Downers Grove faces a big test against 8th-ranked Lyons Township. It's been said baseball players are the most superstitious of athletes. If Cal and Tim are any indication, there's a lot of truth to that rumor.
I've done the same thing ever since I was in 8th grade, just like this little routine. I go up to the plate, I hit the inside of my left spike and then the inside of my right, and then I touch the corners of the plate and I draw a little line, and then I just kind of get in there. I do that every time before I step in the box.
I wore a cup the first game. I pitched pretty good, and then I hadn't worn it since, and I pitched like dog crap. So I put it back on, but it didn't seem to help any, so I'm not gonna wear that anymore.
Before the games, we run out and we touch a sign, the 11 sign, and I touch each one with my glove one time.
I'm switching undershirts because that's not working for me.
Before I go up, I always spit on my hands and rub them together.
And I must lick my fingers 500 plus times during a game.
Occasionally, if I need some really good luck, we have this little thing in our dugout, it's Shania Twain, and it says something like,
Women like hunks in hats.
Yeah, women like hunks in hats. And if I need some extra special luck, I'll go rub my batting glove on it before I go up to bat.
That's about it. I sometimes sing to myself on the mound.
Okay, fellas, let's see if any of this nonsense helps you out on the field. Downers Grove North at Lyons Township. A key battle between conference rivals and a serious test for Cal and the Trojans.
They're ranked 8th in the state, I think, or 8th or 9th, and we're 14th. And their pitcher, Grant Johnson, he's a great pitcher. He's probably one of the top 3 in the state. I want to say he's throwing about 90, 92 miles an hour, and he's going to Notre Dame.
Downers hops out to a 2-run lead. Now it's just a matter of hanging on, and Cal likes his team's chances.
With our pitchers, I kind of feel like once we get 1 run and we get the lead, I think they're strong enough and solid enough, and it's just a matter of making solid plays in the field.
Late in the game, LT hits a blooper to center. Cal calls for it, but not everyone's listening.
No, I don't know. It's kind of weird. They hit the ball in the outfield, and then I called mine, and then I think Jay thought that it was more towards right and that he was going to get it.
Lyons Township fails to capitalize on Cal's collision, and the Trojans take the game. And with the victory, they're on the verge of moving into the state's top 10.
It was just nice to beat them 2-0. It was kind of cool. I started off the game with a single, and then I stole second on him, and then I think Tommy ended up driving me home with 2 outs, but it was just a real confidence booster for our team.
Downers Grove North is now 14-3. Cal will take the victory, but he's anxious to step up his own play.
Then I have to admit, I experienced one of my most humbling things in athletics because this is only the second time it's happened to me my whole life. And I've been playing baseball ever since I was, 5 or 6 years old. And he struck me out 3 times. It was only the second time that's ever happened. I got the hat trick, and I don't really have any shame in it because, I mean, our team won. It was cool. I contributed a little bit, played solid on defense. And I don't know, it just wasn't my day, but I came back strong on Wednesday, so.
Why don't you talk about what you said after you struck out that 3rd time in the dugout?
I have no comment about that. I was just amazed. I could not believe it because, I don't know, I kind of take pride in not striking out too much and hitting the ball. And I don't know, it just wasn't my day, and he had my number. And so I had a few words to say about that in the dugout, but I'm not going to share them.
Don't worry, Cal. the hitting will come around. You got one more shot at a state title, and the way your team is playing, it's a possibility.
It's kind of weird in baseball because, I mean, you can be the best team on any given night. If you face a tough pitcher, your season can end like this. So, I mean, it's kind of tough to tell. Do you think we're going to go down state? I don't know. It's still, the season's still in the middle. It's still a young season. I mean, I think we have a solid shot at competing well in the conference this year. I think we're 2.5 games up in first. I want to say we're 10-1, and so it's not bad. And I don't know, it'd be awesome to get downstate in baseball. It'd be great, but our regional and sectional are really tough, so we'll see as the year goes on.
Coming up on Preps, it's the best of Chi-Town against the best in the Big Apple.
It's like a war. Chicago and New York. Who got the best guards? Chicago or New York? Who got the best players? Chicago and New York. They don't have to respect us. We just basically got to gain our respect.
Chicago versus New York on the hardwood. The Wendy's All-Star Shootout.
I watched that TV show, Chicago Preps, and they seem to have no respect for New York, so.
Bad blood.
Ain't nobody beat us, man.
And bragging rights on the next Preps.
Or he'll never let me touch the infield, so. What's the infield?
You should say that. I know the infield. Why is that?
I don't know, just because it's just kind of a joke. Just because he knows how much I like to play the infield and stuff.
It's because he can't play it while he wants to play it.
Yeah.
What you can't have, you really want. He's stuck out in the outfield, like 300 feet away from all the action, and he gets probably 3-4 balls in the game, and he just stands out there doing.
That's what